Success in road racing often means taking on the cutthroat world of competition in Europe. Ted Wentz was one of the first Americans to try his hand at racing across the pond.
I went over to race the '73 season, and I raced a Formula Ford in Eldon. I met the chap that owned the company in Atlanta, the runoffs the year before. And we kind of liked each other, and he helped me out. He lent me an engine and a gearbox, and I put together a chassis. I bought a chassis. He lent me a van, got me a little bit of sponsorship. And another American, Denny Shattuck, that was over there, we formed a team, and we raced every weekend. We did every British Formula Ford race, sometimes two different venues in one weekend. And I won one of the championships, and the surprise prize for winning was a full-blown Formula Atlantic drive for the following year. And so the following year I raced a Formula Atlantic March in one of the Primo series with Wella hair care sponsorship. And I did that for 2 years, won a championship the second of those years. And then the third year they pulled out, and we got Swan Lager beer from Australia, and I ran the Lola Works Formula Atlantic car, and we won the championship there. So I did Atlantic 3 years on the trot and got 2 championships. So it was very, very satisfying. You know, those days you kind of lived hand to mouth and week to week, and the European economy was kind of getting into a tailspin because of the war in the Middle East, and the sponsorship deals were drying up. And we didn't put together a deal for the following year, so I came back to the States to look for a drive, and I didn't see anything good, so I got married and raised a family instead. This car has a history. It's a 1968 Brabham Formula 2 car that was originally owned by Frank Williams, who now is, of course, Williams Formula One. And Frank had his good friend Piers Courage as his driver, and they raced all the Formula 2 races in Europe in it that year when Piers wasn't racing Formula 1 for BRM. There was one race where they had a conflict at Monza, and so he had his old friend Jonathan Williams drive the car in the great slipstreaming battle at Monza, where the cars all line up and, you know, change lead multiple times a lap, and Jonathan won the race. So the car did have a win. Subsequently, like all racing cars that get old, it went into the club racing. It actually went to New Zealand for a while and was there, and someone resurrected it after a few years and brought it back to the UK and restored it. And Bobby Rahal bought it about 10 years ago, brought it to the States, raced it a few races, and went through a few owners, and I saw it for sale on the internet, and I said, that's a car I always wanted to have.